her sitting on the bed trying to talk, but part of her mouth was... Morning guys, so I went for a walk. For some reason I just feel down today, and then I decided to shoot a video about my mom, just to tell you a small story of how it happened, how it affected me and all that. So I'm wearing this pink hoodie. It's from Victoria's Secret. I wish I bought it. I didn't. My sister-in-law gave it to me. So yeah, I like it. It's baggy, it's comfortable. Yeah, so my dad called out to us to go to his room because my mom fell. So when we got there, my mom wasn't able to talk and wasn't able to stand. So she was trying to find her health passport. So we take her to the hospital, but she couldn't walk. So, and then we didn't know what was going on. I was 15. My little sister was, 13. And my older sister was 20 at the time. So my sister accompanied my mom to the hospital, and I was left alone at home. So I had to wash some of my mom's clothes so that when my sister comes, she would take the clean clothes to the hospital, because it's just been maybe 3 hours of mom being hospitalized. So that's the last image of my mom that I have. Like that's the last image that I have of my mom. Her sitting on the bed trying to talk, but part of her mouth was slurry. She was saying slurry words. Her words were slurred and all that. So I stayed home to wash some of her clothes, and then my dad owned a cooker shop, so we had to go to the cooker shop to still take care of things, because that's how we survived. And I remember this woman asking us, like, how's your mom? Did she go to work? Because she used to work at the open market. She used to sell meat and all that. So this lady asked, like, how is your mom? Did she go to work? And then we were trying to pretend like, yeah, she went to work as usual, because in the Oshivamo culture you're told not to tell your things. Like, if something happens, you shouldn't tell. So we were like, no, she went to work. And then the moment the woman left, we just started crying. I don't know if it was instinct or it's just because we've never really seen my mom sick. So we told the lady, no, my mom is fine. She went to work. And then we started crying immediately after she left. So we had to go back home, and then my sister had to go to town. My little sister had to go to town to find sugar, because we had to do that brew thing again. So we had like mahango in the field, and then because I had to take care of the mahango. Like, I had to take care of the mahango, but I couldn't, because for some reason I just slept, and I slept in the house, which is not usual, because when you have a responsibility to take care of the mahango or to watch for the goats not to eat up the mahango, you don't sleep. So I went in the house, I slept. So I woke up, and there was a lot of people in the house. Everybody was laying on the ground, crying and rolling in the sand. And then my big cousin was like standing in the middle of the house, like shooting some guns, because it's in Oshivambo tradition, like once somebody passed away, like somebody has to like shoot guns to notify people that there's a death somewhere in the house. But usually, like in the village growing up, you would know that somebody, it's who died, because you know the person is sick. And once you hear the guns, then you start wondering, like, is it who, because they are sick. But for my mom, she didn't get sick. She went to the hospital like today in the morning, and then the next day she was dead. I didn't get a chance to say bye. I didn't get a chance to see her. Yeah, so I woke up and everybody was crying. So I just stood there. I couldn't do anything, because it still didn't get to me because my mom was not sick. My mom didn't die. According to me, my mom is not dead. So in my head, I'm even telling myself like, no, mom is gonna come back later. Why are these people crying, you know? So I stood there, I couldn't cry because it still didn't get to me, and I don't have the emotions. Like, I don't have that fear, that feeling of crying. So so I remember, I don't know why I cry now, but I didn't cry then. So I remember trying to scream, just trying to cry, because you know, Chibambo culture also, there's this thing that if you don't cry, you're a kid and your parent died and you don't cry, then they will beat you so that you cry. I don't know why. Why do they have to beat you to cry if you don't feel like crying? Like, it's not just there. You're not there yet. And maybe you don't know what's going on. Like, for me, I didn't know. Like, I didn't think my mom died. So I started screaming. I started pretending to cry. Like, I pretended to cry. My mother died, but I was pretending to cry. I pretended crying for like maybe 3 minutes until it became real. Till I started crying for real. Yeah. Sorry. And then there comes that phase, like during the morning, like everybody comes to your house and they kill cows and they stay there, and people forgot to feed me, actually, and my sister, they forgot to give us food. And then in my head I was just like, okay, so if for real my mom is dead and these people can't even feed us, we are orphans but they can't feed us, then how is life gonna be for us? So I guess my big sister is awesome. So she told us, like, listen here, people will come in this house crying because they didn't cry before. For you, you cried your lungs out already. So when they come in this house, just pretend they are annoying. Like, when they cry, when they roll, just look at them as they are annoying people. So from there, we just looked at it as such. Like, we thought, oh, they are annoying. And then we didn't cry anymore because we just told ourselves, they're annoying. Stop crying. Who are you acting for, you know? And then I think that helped a little bit. And then it was time for funeral, because, okay, so when it's funeral, the day of the funeral, people are allowed to look at the deceased face for the last time, just to confirm that yes, it's true indeed, she's going in the ground, this is her, she's dead, I have proof. I had this stubbornness. I don't know if it's stubbornness or shyness, or it's both. So I'm shy and stubborn. So people told me to go look at my mom, but I refused. But also I blame them for not pushing me well, like pushing me more for me to go see her. Because, because I know if I could have seen her, it would have been better. I could have maybe accepted sooner. So I refused to see my mom. I refused to see my mom's face. And then it affected me later. So I was at the secondary school then. So when I went back to school, I cried for months, because that's when it hit me that your mom is indeed dead. Because I didn't believe. When people would come, shake my head, and I would tell them, I would tell myself in my head, like, when mom comes back, I'll tell her that only who and who and who came, only who and who and who came. Like, I still didn't believe my mom was dead. So yeah, it has been a hard thing for me. All I have is just a skirt, my mom's skirt. Sorry. All I have is just my mom's skirt, and I wear it like now and then because it's all I have. That's all I have. My kids will never, sorry, my kids will never see their grandma. Sorry. There are just a lot of blessed people out there. They have their mom, they have their grandparents. While my kids will never see their grandma. Like, I was 15, I was big enough to to be able to take care of myself or understand the way mom brought us up. But yeah, it's not easy. Even life now, I have questions. I want to ask about things. So I blame myself sometimes for some reason, because we had a fight with my big sister the day before. And in Oshivambo, if you fight with your sibling, they call it's a taboo. Like, it's like you're inviting death. So they say once you fight, then somebody has to die for you to reconcile, because we slept in separate rooms. And the first day we slept in the same room with my sister, it's the same morning my mom got sick. So for some reason I feel like I brought it on to myself, or I'm responsible, because I could have prevented that fight. And so if you're wondering of the cause of death, it was stroke. My mom died of stroke 2008. Yeah.